How's everybody doing tonight? Tonight, we have a story about injustice. Let's get started. Hope everybody's having a great week and a really great weekend. Here tonight, I want to talk a little bit about the injustice, the false accusations that are happening to a lot of our young men in our society today. Mainly in the college years, and I can see this also happening in the teenage years in high school. But it's the allegations of false grape, because I can't use certain words on YouTube. And the false allegations are mainly hitting young men that are in college, have high testosterone levels going through the roof. They have a large opportunity in front of them with other students, and they're trying to take up on that, but then they're getting accused of things. They're getting falsely accused of participating in some grape. Let's get started here. Men's rights activist says this college student is why they need a Me Too movement. On June 5th, Meke went to jail. She had maintained for the previous 20 months that she was raped by two Sacred Heart University students in the bathroom at a house party. The men she accused said it was consensual, and that's what prosecutors and police in Bridgeport, Connecticut believed too. The state charged Jovino with filing a false report to law enforcement and evidence tampering based on their allegation that she had a grape kit performed while lying about having been graped. Jovino, 19, faced up to 6 years in prison. She had pled not guilty, but on the morning jury selection was to begin, Jovino took a plea deal to spend a year behind bars. She was taken away in handcuffs while her mom dabbed tears from her eyes in the courtroom. Jovino's grape report in October 2016 was similar to countless other sexual assault cases arising from alcohol-fueled college parties. There were inconsistencies in witness statements, and memories were hazy. The men she accused, who had both played football for Sacred Heart University, were never charged with the crime, but they left school before the end of the year to avoid the risk of expulsion. So they figured it was better to leave on their own behalf, their own going out there. They chose the way they went out, basically, because they knew that they probably weren't going to get a fair shake on this. Jovino's sentence had been celebrated online by those who believe that false grape reports are frequently leveled and seldom punished. Conservative blogs called it a rarity, real consequence for lying, and proclaimed this does send a message about false accusations. One website asked if this was the beginning of a new trend in justice for the falsely accused. Men's rights activists bemoaned that the punishment wasn't stiffer. A branch of the National Coalition for Men tweeted about Jovino. Hey, me too. One down and a couple thousand more to go. The men's names, which are in the court's records, have not been publicized. However, Jovino is all over the internet. There are at least 44 videos on YouTube about her case, which also made the front page of Reddit. One nonprofit group dedicated to highlighting false grape claims placed her mugshot on a banner next to the woman who sparked the Duke lacrosse case, another case of false allegations, in which three players were charged and later cleared of graping a woman. Right-wing blogs argued that this was one of many false grape reports that came from a witch hunt frenzy on college campuses ginned up by the Obama administration's Title IX rules, and it could be a game changer. So what it is in case anybody's not familiar with Title IX allows very loosely set of rules that can be interpreted in a lot of different ways on how colleges are supposed to handle accusations of grape. And these rules have been basically implemented to set up kangaroo courts. A lot of times the men are not heard from. They're immediately accused, and their judge, jury, I mean, it's a kangaroo court. That's basically what it is. That's what I'm trying to say. So that they have no chance whatsoever to plead their case, to be seen as innocent or guilty, nothing. There's a lot of cases that are out there that once the student was expelled, lost their scholarships, they had to get a lawyer, and it can take 4 to 6 years for them to get any kind of justice in this system. So this is a problem. This is the problem with Title IX. This is a problem with things being too loose in this case. This has to change. This has to change. This is not what this country's based on. Innocent until proven guilty. This is just guilty, guilty, guilty. Why? Because you're a man. We must believe all women. But as we see here, there's a lot of women that are lying about this. Let's continue. That's what makes this situation so unique. Andrew Miltenberg, a prominent attorney representing students and faculty accused of sexual misconduct, excuse my language here, told BuzzFeed News. It's one of the few instances where people can look and say not only are there ramifications for lying, but there really is true vindication. There's been at least 127 women nationwide charged with false reporting a grape in the past 5 years, according to BuzzFeed News review of media reports. But Jovino's sentence, even with the plea deal, is one of the most severe that any experts could recall. So, as they stated before, she was up for 6 years. She plea bargained down to a year and then 3 years of probation. And they're saying then that's severe, where she took 2 young men, accused them of something that was false. They've lost their scholarships. They no longer play ball. They have no means to which to support themselves after this because their college years are done. What college, if you transfer to another college, which college is going to take you because they find out the facts that you've been accused, falsely or otherwise, and let you in, and then you're not going to get a scholarship, which without a scholarship, it's very hard to get a good education anymore. Jovino is destined to be cited for years to come in arguments about how to deal with campus grape and whether the Me Too movement has gone too far, and to bolster the notion that society cannot believe all women. And you can't. Maybe you can believe all women, but you need to verify. You can say, okay, yes, I believe that you feel that something happened. Let's find out what it is. And then start going through an investigation to find out what actually happened, if anything. If she has been raped, then yes, we need to prosecute. That's bad actors doing bad behavior, and we cannot allow that to happen. As men, we cannot allow that to happen. We have to stand up and make sure that we monitor ourselves, that we are a upstanding part of society, that we don't stand for this. If some bad actors do this, then yes, they need to be prosecuted to the full extent of the law, because this cannot be tolerated. We as men have to be better than this. We have to sit there and say, yes, we agree. Let me continue. For supporters of that notion, Jovino's case is a turning point in their campaign to ensure that college men accused of rape get due process, a cause championed by the Education Secretary, Betsy DeVos. Okay, I do have a problem with Betsy DeVos because she's a rich woman and has no business whatsoever being the Education Secretary. She has no background in this. That's probably why this Title IX thing is also so bad. Whatever, she didn't take any into account her new position and change anything. And anyways, the case's racial element, Jovino's white, and the men she accused are black, has added to their indignation and helped fuel anger towards Jovino. News outlets like BET and The Root picked up on how a lying white woman falsely accused 2 black men, who ended up leaving the school. It's difficult for African American males to achieve the dream of successfully getting into college and reaching their goal of obtaining a diploma, and to have their college dreams derailed due to a sex romp that Meke agreed to, only to accuse afterwards with her rash, inflammatory, false statements, is plain dishonest, said Alice True, an activist who runs the blog Help Save Our Sons. And I have to agree with her. It is much more difficult for African American males. We know that for a fact. And we need to support all males in this, no matter if it's racially charged or not. If these young men have been falsely accused, yes, we need to support them. For those who work with victims, though, the widely publicized case is a setback in efforts to encourage women to speak up about sexual assault, and a sign that police too often treat victims as criminals. Jovino's year-long sentence, they've pointed out, is stiffer than some people receive in a plea deal for committing sexual assault. Additionally, worrying to them is the case has unfolded against the backdrop of DeVos' vow to overhaul Obama-era Title IX policies that critics say favor college women who report sexual assaults. And they do. This has been proven over and over and over again. Males have no say in this. This is a witch hunt, like this article has said. The larger consequences of filing charges for false reports, and it's hitting the media, It's hitting the media, and the message is that it sends to the community that women typically lie about being raped, says Liz Donegan, a retired Austin police sergeant who now trains police and the military on investigating sex crimes. That message reverberates throughout the community, and everybody hears it. The community hears it, the cops on the street hear it, and the judge hear it. And I would hope so, because we need to have fairness in this. If all these women want equality, we need fairness. Now, this is really a very long article. I'm going to skip a little bit ahead, because basically what this part's covering, and I'll put the links in the description below. It goes into what happened that night, the details. But one of the things that I found very, very telling is right here. By December, amid conflicting witness accounts, police are beginning to doubt Jovino's story. Officers hadn't interviewed either of the men accused of assaulting Jovino, but one of them gave a statement to Sacred Hearts, which had started its own separate investigation. So they didn't even take the time to interview the two young men that were accused of doing this action. This is part of the problem. Why is it that they didn't go and talk to them right away? If you're accused of something, you need to know what's going on. You need to have your chance to sit there and tell your side of the story. But they didn't even bother to go interview him. And in fact, one of them had to go to the school and submit his own statement. The school wasn't even interested in finding out what his side of the story was. This is the problem that I have. People want to automatically assume women good, men bad. Men are the ones that do this. So we don't need to talk to them. We just need to put them up as a sacrificial lamb and just make this all go away. Because yes, we have to sit there and support the young ladies. Yes, we do. But we have to support everyone with the truth. Let me continue just a little bit more on this. He claimed that Jovino said, let me get back up a little bit more. According to the statement, one of the men had asked Jovino at the party if she wanted to have sex with the two of them. He claimed that Jovino said, yes, followed them into a bathroom, gave them oral sex, and let them take turns having vaginal sex with her, according to a police affidavit. 3 others who attended the party also cast doubt on Jovino's account. They told police she wasn't forced to enter the bathroom, stated that she wanted to hook up with somebody that night, and had talked to one of the men before that night about having sex. So she's basically already talked to one of the young men accused. She wanted to have sex. This is a setup. This is premeditated. The accused men's attorney also showed police an 8-second video showing Jovino in the bathroom with the men, which led investigators to believe the sex was consensual. A few days after viewing it, Cato arranged a second interview with Jovino to try to determine if she had lied. He traveled to his family homes on Long Island on December 7th, 2016, brought a male colleague so he'd have a witness for the interview. According to Jovino's mother, Cato said it would be one last interview before filing the papers for an arrest warrant. He didn't tell her who he planned to arrest. Good for him. Glad he did that. Because this is how they had to drill down and get the information. Like I said, I'll put the links in. You can read the rest of the story. There's a lot more in here on that. I don't want to go too long tonight. But this is what we're talking about. Men are being accused, young men especially, are being accused of bad actions when in fact they were consensual actions. Everybody agreed to it beforehand. It was supposed to be a good time. Everybody has gets their fun, and they're supposed to go home, and everything's supposed to be hunky-dory. But no. Something else happens. They get accused of being a bad actor. They get accused of situations that can affect the rest of their life, and it's not their fault. Another article I did read on this story too, the reason that she said that she did this was that she was trying to get sympathy from a friend that she thought was boyfriend material. So she was trying to set this guy up to take sympathy on her so she could become involved in a relationship with this person. That blows my mind. That's just ridiculous. I don't know where in her head she thought that this grand scheme made sense. This is something that is seriously scary. That she logicked it out, shall we say, in her head that this is what's going to work. This was a scheme. Yes, of course. He'll feel sorry for me. And we'll become happily ever, forever after soulmates. This is ridiculous. Where do people get this idea? Well, I've gone on long enough. Like I said, I'll leave the article links in the comments. Please like, subscribe, and until next time, everyone have a great night.